Welcome to the Dr. Wyatt Show podcast, where developing a long-lasting, happy relationship is the status symbol to achieve, and following my 6 marriage steps is a path to help get you there. I'm your host, Dr. Wyatt Fisher, a licensed psychologist specializing in marriage counseling. Remember, you can contact me on the Dr. Wyatt Show podcast at any time by calling 720-307-7347. Leave a voicemail with your marriage questions, then I'll respond back to your voicemail on the next Dr. Wyatt Show podcast. Free marriage advice. Take advantage of it. The discount of the week is you can receive 20% off the Total Marriage Refresh Conference. The conference is something I developed around 8 years ago to really spread the message of hope to couples. And it follows the 6 steps to marital satisfaction. It's a training workshop. Think about all the training you've been through for your career, all the continuing education, all of the certifications, all of the college classes. You've been through a lot, but you've probably been through almost no training for your marriage. This conference is much needed training. So if you're interested in checking it out, there's a whole bunch of dates coming up in February. Go to my website, drwyattfisher.com, click on retreats. Then you'll see the various cities, and then you can register on those pages. When you're checking out, use discount code REFRESH, REFRESH, and you'll get 20% off. The coupon is only good until this coming Sunday, January 30th. Okay, so we are in the middle of a 2-part series on 4 ways to boost your marriage. How mindful are you day to day about boosting your marriage? Do you take vitamins? Do you take supplements? Why do you do that? You do that to boost your health. There's all sorts of things we do to boost our health. We go to the gym to boost our health. We drink protein shakes to boost our muscles. We take vitamins to boost our immune system. We do a lot of things to boost our health. Likewise, we need to boost our marriage. We need to boost it because marriages often drift in the wrong direction, just like our bodies do. If you're not careful with your body, it's going to get more and more unhealthy. Likewise with our marriage. You don't have to try. It just drifts in that direction. Just like our body drifts towards being unhealthy, our marriage drifts towards being unhealthy. So we have to become intentional and mindful. So, part 1 of this series, we talked about how Mondays are for being mischievous. That's being playful. And we talked about how Tuesdays are for touch, all non-sexual touch, to bring back affection. So today is part 2, and we're going to talk about what to do on Wednesdays and then what to do on Thursdays. So on Wednesdays, I want you to think of the word window. And that means a window into your soul and a window into your partner's soul. So Wednesdays, I want you to think about focusing only on window, and that means cultivating emotional intimacy. You may have heard the way to think of intimacy is into me, see. That's the window. So again, when we're dating and we're first courting, we spend so much time getting to know our partner. Lots of FaceTime chats, lots of phone calls, lots of quality time. And a lot of times when we're together, we ask a lot of questions. Tell me about your background. Tell me about what your dreams are. Tell me about what stresses you out. Tell me about your parents. Tell me about what was hardest for you growing up. Tell me about your 5-year plan or your 10-year plan. Tell me about what keeps you up at night. We ask a lot of questions when we're courting, when we're dating, and we get to know each other really, really well. That cultivates emotional intimacy. But when you're together for a while, we start to coast. We start assuming we know each other, but we get outdated. This is the love map. We all have a love map within us, and our map inside of us is always changing. Our highs, our lows, what we're excited about, what we're scared about, what we're upset about. It's always evolving. And like a city map of any major city in the US or anywhere in the world, that map gets outdated because there's always new buildings. There's always new roads. Old roads are torn down. Old buildings are ripped down. New bridges are built. It's always changing. And we are the same way. So if we don't have a method to stay updated on our partner, we're going to get outdated, and that's what happens. So I want to encourage you to think about Wednesdays as window days. That means you want your partner to see into your soul, and you want to very intentionally look into their soul. That's not going to happen by accident. So Wednesdays, spend a lot of time trying to emotionally reconnect with your partner. Ask them a lot of questions. Any kind of question you can think of. And it's different to ask an open-ended versus a closed-ended question. Open-ended questions start with what or how. Those are great questions because your partner is going to share more. Closed-ended questions like do or are, those usually end with a response that's yes or no. So you're going to get less information. So try to lean into open-ended questions. What or how? And you can sprinkle this throughout the day. You can sprinkle some text throughout the day. What are you thinking about? Or what are you stressed about today? Or what are you looking forward to the most today? You can check in the morning. What are you feeling this morning? What's going through your mind? What are you most worried about today with your day coming up? And then intentionally spend a lot of time after work together catching up. How was your day? What was hardest for you today? What was easiest for you? What was your high today? What was your low today? What's life like for you right now? What's stressing you out the most? What's your biggest dream that you wish we could accomplish together moving forward? Those kind of questions reacquaint you with your partner. They cultivate intimacy. So think of Wednesdays as window days to cultivate intentionally that intimacy, the emotional connection all day long. Okay, now Thursdays. When you think of Thursdays, think of the T in Thursday and think of tantalize. This is the day to tantalize your partner. You want to tantalize them. This refers to sexual. So how do you tantalize somebody? Well, think about what did you do in the beginning? When you were dating, when you were first getting together, what did you do to romance your partner, to become erotic with your partner? How did you turn them on? What did you do? Was it how you dressed? Was it what you texted them or what you would say to them? Did you have suggestive behavior when you were together? Would you whisper things in their ear? Thursdays are the days to tantalize your partner. We have to bring back sexiness. We have to bring back romance. We have to bring back eroticism into our relationships. It's exciting and it's fulfilling and it's connecting. And when you were dating, there was a lot of it. That is what helped you fall in love with one another, was all that erotic excitement and touch and connection. But when you're together for a while, it often goes away. It often falls through the cracks. Sometimes it's because we're too stressed. Sometimes it's because there's not enough emotional intimacy. Sometimes it's because of a difference in libidos. And if you're not careful, that sexiness and that eroticism will disappear. And when that disappears, you start feeling like roommates. And that's boring. And you drift apart. You start detaching. Bring back that eroticism. Bring back that excitement. Bring back that sexiness. You need it in your relationship on a regular basis. So make Thursdays your focus. The entire day Thursday is to tantalize your partner. So think about what you could do. Maybe you could dress a little sexier that day. Maybe you could smell a little better that day. Maybe you could leave them some notes. Maybe you could write something on the bathroom mirror. Maybe you could text them something suggestive or send them some sexy photos of you. Think about how you could tantalize your partner throughout the whole day on Thursday. Think about what you could whisper into their ear in the kitchen while they're making breakfast. Think about after work what you could then do together. Maybe you could flash some of their body to them to flirt in that way. Maybe you could have some sensual massage, or you could take a bath together or a shower together to have that sensual time together. And then if you're both open to erotic contact, move it into the erotic sphere. Move it into that space where then you can enjoy one another sexually. depending on what that lower libido is open to. So maybe it's everything above the waist and you really enjoy that. Or it's manual below the waist or oral below the waist. But intentionally make Thursdays the day to tantalize your partner all day long. In small ways, moderate ways, and big ways. Get in that mindset. Make Thursdays your main day. Doesn't have to be the only day, but your main day to tantalize your partner. So the call to action as a reminder, if you would like to get 20% off the conference, the Total Marriage Refresh, be sure to go to my website, click on Retreats, and when you're checking out, use a discount code REFRESH, and then you get 20% off the conference. If you enjoyed the episode today, be sure to click the 5 stars and leave a review and subscribe. And remember, your marriage is alive. So if you care for it and nurture it, it will grow. But if you deprive it and neglect it, it will wilt and die. The choice is up to you. Take care.